All in all, I have to say it was a pretty good day at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Did you know that the Indianapolis Motor Speedway isn't in Indianapolis? It's actually in Speedway, Indiana. But close enough. I've watched MotoGP off and on since the class was born back in 2002. Yes, Grand Prix motorcycling has been around much longer than that, but the class hasn't. But I followed it a bit more closely the last 2 years, and this year I've watched every MotoGP race. I'm not the biggest fan because I know I haven't bought all the video passes and all that stuff for MotoGP. Who doesn't like the Doctor, Valentino Rossi? He's had a pretty successful year in motorcycle racing, although this year he hasn't gone quite as well. I also enjoy watching Jorge Lorenzo ride around the track. His celebrations in the 2010 season were really great, especially when he did the Spaceman walk there at Laguna Seca. Sadly, the three Americans haven't really grabbed my attention so far, which is kind of odd when you think about it, because two of them do come from Texas, where I used to live. Well, it's great to see that Ben Spies has been doing pretty well this year in the points ranking. It was really great to get a chance to watch the warm-up in the morning. You don't usually get to see that. And it was great seeing in person the 125s, the Moto2, the MotoGP, and even the XR1200. So which is better, the TV or in person? It's kind of hard to say really for me. If I should have gone Saturday, I probably would have gotten better views of the track and gotten a chance to actually see the racers up close. Naturally at home, you're much closer to the motorcycles, it's easier to hear the commentary, and you're pretty much looking at motorcycles going around the track the entire time. When you're there in person, obviously you don't have quite that luxury. The track is so long and they only come by every so often. One of the downsides with the TV coverage is you're pretty much looking at the leaders or wherever the biggest battle is for the race. From the deck, it was interesting to watch how different riders took different lines and different strategies going through the 1 through 4 turn complex. Having the same view, it was easy to see the differences between the riders and even the differences between the classes. This is something that really I wasn't able to see even watching from home. Now, of course, you don't have the energy of the crowd when you're at home. This was my second visit to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but it was the first time actually getting to see a race here. While perhaps it's not the best venue in the world for motorcycles, it did pretty well. And I can't deny I really liked the parking spot. So would I watch MotoGP again in person? Well, I guess I've already answered that question. It was announced today, Sunday, September 4th, that MotoGP would remain here in Indy until 2014. So I've applied to renew my ticket. It's a very interesting concept, renewing a ticket. But I understand it when you think about it logically. If you paid for a ticket, you kind of want to keep the same spot from year to year. The only real complaint I had for the weekend was that I went alone. Well, I had some interesting company in the stands. It just isn't quite the same unless you have someone there with you that you know. All in all, the traffic getting out of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway wasn't that bad. It was a little bit of a wait, but it could have been a lot worse.